Right time. She went to the hospital for a pregnancy test and one of the nurses couldn't keep her mouth shut.
We contacted Josh.
He's obviously still got a few mates at Mount Thomas General.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Tess, what a bloody mess, eh?
You can say that again.
Morning, Tess.
No prizes for guessing who's the subject of today's gossip.
Hey, if there's anything we can do.
Thank you. But there's no reason why this should change how things operate around here. Evan, on patrol. What are you looking at me for?
I said she looked good, that's all.
It's not a sickness, you know.
I tried telling that to my Aunt Fiona. And she had morning sickness so bad she wound up in hospital on a drip. Sorry, wrong thing to say. I just don't know what the right thing is.
How about we just try not talking about it at all?
Yeah, fair enough. So have you made a decision?
Not talking, remember?
It's just bringing up a kid on your own. I mean, that's a big call. And you'd make a great mum. I'm going to shut up.
No. Thank you. What's going on here?
Please come quick, you gotta help me. Hurry, he's down here. It's his favourite spot. I just thought he was resting a bit.
My government undertaker's on the way.
Right. Strange.
What?
Bruise on his jaw.
That's from a gunshot, yeah?
Well, you often see black eyes, but not bruising that low.
Well, he certainly chose a beautiful spot to do it.
Except every time his daughter comes down here, she'll remember him like this.
He was complaining about being out of muesli. Dad, this morning. Why would he worry about muesli if he was planning to do this?
Miss Howe, I'd just like to ask you some questions if you're up to it.
Come on, I think you might be in a bit of shock. Do you want to go and get a cup of tea or something?
Did you get anything?
No, I didn't hear the gunshot. She was working on the other side of the farm.
What's going on?
Who are you?
Nick Zoulis. I work here. I used to work here. I was driving past, I saw the cop cars. What's happened? Is Mel all right?
Well, she is. It's her father.
Norm? What happened?
Well, I'm afraid he's dead.
Suspected suicide.
You don't seem particularly surprised, Mr. Sills.
I guess he just couldn't face it again.
Face what?
He'd been treated for a brain tumour. They told him he was clear, but over the last few weeks he'd had more symptoms.
Who is he seeing?
Dr. Joshua Carmichael at the hospital, but he's gone now.
We'll check with the hospital records. The rifle that your father used, was it his?
I've never seen it before. So unfair. After all we went through.
How do you mean?
Well, Mum died of cancer 18 months ago now. It was just 3 months after Dad was diagnosed. It's been so hard. First looking after her, then him. Trying to keep this place running.
I'm sorry.
Trevor. My brother, he's got to be told.
He's killed himself.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Your sister asked us to pass on the news.
Yeah, well, I'll get in touch with her about the funeral arrangements. Where'd you find him?
Down by the river.
Yeah, I know the spot. We used to go fishing there when I was a kid. Oh, thanks for letting us know.
Mr. Howe, in the case of a suicide, there's usually an autopsy.
Why? You know how he died?
It's just procedure. But once that's completed, the body will be released for burial.
And when will that be?
I'm not sure.
All right, well, I've got the whole country in the middle of a drought. I've got all this feed to deliver. Still, that's not your problem. Yeah, I'll work something out.
I'm not surprised that Trevor reacted that way. There was no love lost between the pair of them.
Why? What's the problem?
Well, they both had separate ideas on how the farm should be run, and never the twain shall meet.
Hey, did you check the hospital records?
No, I haven't had a chance yet. Joe, can you and Ben follow that up?
I'll give you a hand.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, Sergeant, before you go...
Oh, boss, if this is about what you were discussing this morning...
Look, Tess, nobody wants to interfere with
I
your
haven't
personal
even made
life.
up my mind yet. I mean, I haven't even had a chance to think
No,
about
no,
it.
of course not. Well, it's just I hope that you feel that you can rely on your workmates, whatever you decide.
So do you reckon she'll keep it?
So I think who'll keep what?
Tess, do you reckon she'll have the baby?
I don't know. But I can't imagine someone with her ambition allowing a kid to get in the way of her career.
Sorry, just grabbing some morning tea with the doc.
Good morning.
Dr. Zielinski.
Ben Stewart.
Tatiana Zielinski, pleased to meet you.
Sorry, and Constable Joanna Parrish.
Hello.
And this is our suicide victim, Norman Howe.
Age?
57.
Entry wound, it looks like .22.
Like it wasn't a shotgun. Wouldn't be much of his head left.
Just like to see Mr. Howe's medical records, if possible. Dr. Carmichael was looking after him.
We check records now. Follow me.
Follow her to bloody Siberia.
Mr. Howe had a tumor in right cerebral hemisphere, had surgery and radiotherapy 1 year ago.
Was the operation successful?
Yes, but he had weakness down left side and epilepsy.
I assume he was prescribed some medication for the fits?
Yes, but apart from that, he has a complete recovery. He was a very lucky man.
What kind of symptoms would you expect to see with this sort of tumour?
Headaches, visual disturbance, dizziness, poor concentration, poor memory, and then as the tumor grows, headaches get really bad.
According to his daughter, Mr. Howe was experiencing the symptoms again shortly before he took his life.
If the tumor returned to same place, surgery is no good.
Is there any record of him coming back for treatment recently?
Last visit to Dr. Carmichael 4 months ago.
It just seems strange that a man would top himself without getting a medical opinion about his condition first.
Well, what's strange about it? He had the same symptoms. Didn't want to go through it.
Yeah, but I want to be absolutely certain that there was no hope at all before I checked out.
Now, I wouldn't mind getting checked out by that new doctor.
Oh, come on. She wasn't that good.
Now, Clive would disagree with you on that.
Who's this?
Dr. Zielinski. She's new.
Tatiana.
Sounds like a character out of a James Bond movie.
From Russia with love.
I wonder if Dr. Titty keeps a vodka in the freezer with your stiffs.
What's she like?
She's a very nice woman.
Yeah, she is nice.
You'd better get going.
Ah, yes, of course. I can't be late for one of Cliffy Watkins' traffic management lectures.
Oh, Melanie. How are you?
You wanted to see me. My father hated doctors. Swore he'd never go back to one.
Even when he started getting symptoms again?
He felt they'd betrayed him.
But they saved his life, didn't they?
Yeah, but at what cost? Chemo made him sick as a dog. He had weakness in his arm and hands. He couldn't even hold a spoon properly. He was a proud man. He hated that.
When we found your father, he had a bruise on his jaw. Have you got any idea he might have got that?
No.
When Sergeant Gallagher here spoke to your brother, he didn't seem overly upset.
Trevor moved out just after Mum died. Dad accused him of trying to sell off the farm.
Did he?
He was just trying to make it more financially viable.
How often did they see each other?
Hardly at all.
When was the last time?
My father wasn't the easiest man to get on with, Detective Hasham.
When was the last time?
This morning.
PJ? PJ, the rifle Norm Howe used on himself, unregistered.
Well, he was a farmer. It's not that unusual.
Yeah, I guess it's a bit late to charge him.
So, Trevor, you hadn't spoken to your father in 6 months and he just rings you up and asks you to come round this morning?
Well, he said he wanted to patch things up between us and would I help my sister manage the farm?
What was your response to that?
I was prepared to do it. Yeah, Mel and I could work together, no worries.
And what about your business?
Oh, yeah, I couldn't just walk away from it, so... Well, I told him we'd have to sit down and nut out some new strategies for the farm.
Fair enough, and what do they say?
Oh, it just gave me the same old speech, you know, well, why change it if it ain't broke, and... Yeah.
Thought he was being unreasonable?
Well, yeah, too right I did. I mean, he was the one asking me to come back, but he expected me to make all the concessions.
Did you argue about it?
Yeah, I mean, any sensible person who recognised that we had to change directions and scale down. Now, I know for a fact he'd had offers. Turned them all down.
Where'd this argument take place?
Up at the house.
Did you hit him?
Well, I told him he could shove his offer and I just turned to walk out. But well, you see, he came up behind me and pulled me around, so, yeah, I let him have it. He stumbled and fell back against the kitchen cupboard.
Right.
But that's all. Nothing happened. I left.
Was your dad hurt?
You know, I can't have been too bad. He was still yelling at me as I drove off. Bastard. He knew he was going to top himself. Couldn't even say goodbye.
Trevor, do you own a rifle?
No.
Sure?
Yeah, of course I do. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I didn't have anything to do with my father's death.
You have just admitted that you weren't on good terms with him when he died.
That doesn't mean I killed him. Jeez, we just couldn't get on.
Heard about Norm Howe?
Yeah, it's a sad business.
Word is he used a gun.
Chrissy.
If you're relying on the fact that Norm had a gun lying about the place, then you'd be barking up the wrong tree.
He was a farmer?
Doesn't matter.
Every farmer's got a gun stashed somewhere.
Not Norm. It goes back when he was little, you see. He and his brother one day were playing with the gun and... well, you can guess the rest.
What, hasn't picked up a gun since?
Does happen.
Only in country and western songs.
Here, you can carry that. We don't want Tess straining herself, do we?
Me? What?
And Vinny has put extra cheese in your sandwich because you need all the protein you can get.
You should put that in the Gazette.
Give me that.
If Norm thought he was right about something, he would never shift.
What if there was genuine animosity between father and son?
We'd still be looking at suicide.
We should keep our options open.
Are you suggesting we might be looking at murder?
Look, we need to find out who would benefit from Howe's death and where did he get the gun.
Please, don't start flashing the M word around till you've got something solid.
About time. Did you take the scenic route back from St David's?
No, the course ran over. Geez, Cliffy Watkins can talk about traffic management ad nauseum.
That guy sleeps with his car.
Well, don't blame him. You seen his wife?
Thank you.
Of course, didn't run over, did it?
Yes, it did.
Oh, yeah? By how long?
What's with the interrogation?
So how is Felicity? Send the kids to her mum's, did you?
Just stay out of it, Joe.
Have you gone nuts?
It's okay, Ross is in Melbourne.
He's the bloody inspector, Ben. And the minute he leaves town, you jump his wife. I mean,
I'm buying a loud hailer for your birthday. What's going on?
Nothing.
Yeah, okay, I'm on my way down now. Thanks for that. Bye. I'm on the way to the hospital for a Norm House autopsy.
No. I'll come with her.
You are detective?
Yes.
I am doctor.
Patrick Hasham.
Hasham, you are Arab.
Well, sort of. I'm Australian.
I'm Russian. You are very good looking for a detective. I am Tatiana.
Oh, PJ.
Shall we begin?
The bullet does not much damage. Straight through skull. In here, out here. Why you stand over there? Come closer.
It's close enough for me, thanks.
Let's look at the brain now. You too, PJ.
Not into body parts.
No, I'm fine.
Blood, urine, liver, stomach. All usual samples go to lab. Now, this is where original tumor was removed. Here in right cerebral hemisphere.
The white scarring?
No, that is from radiotherapy.
And the second tumour, where's that located?
No tumor.
But the symptoms must have been caused by something.
Yes, but not by tumour.
So maybe this is more than just a simple suicide, eh?
Yes?
Hi, can we have a word, please?
Look, is it really necessary?
I'm afraid it is.
Oh, righto. Well, let's say I come down the station about half an hour, all right?
Won't take long.
Can we come in now?
They want to talk to me. So, what's this about?
Well, the autopsy revealed that your father didn't have a secondary tumour after all.
No tumour? That's impossible. His symptoms were exactly the same as last time.
What were those symptoms exactly?
Really bad headaches, felt sick all the time, dizzy spells. I saw my dad in real pain. He wasn't faking it.
Mel, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Now go home. I'll call you later.
Yeah?
That's a highly unlikely union.
So they're having a relationship.
Her father blows his brains out in the morning, and they're whooping it up in the afternoon.
PJ, they're hardly whooping it up.
Still, it's interesting.
Melanie was devastated by her father's death. Nick was probably just offering some comfort.
I wonder if her old man knew the kind of comfort Nick was providing.
Norm was a bit of a snob. I doubt he would have approved of his daughter getting involved with the hired help.
Maybe that's why he's an ex-employee.
Nick Tsoulis is a parasite, but Mel's hooked on him.
That cause any friction between the two of you?
No. She's a big girl. Besides, if Dad couldn't influence her, I stood no chance.
So your father knew that she and Nick were sleeping together?
Yeah. Walked in on him one day.
Ah, so Nick got the flick.
Mel tried to argue with him, but that never did any good.
So Nick wasn't allowed back on the farm, eh?
Nah. Mel sweet-talked me into giving him a job. Stupidest thing I ever did.
Yeah, why's that?
Well, he wasn't willing to work. Had to let him go in the end. Dad was wrong about a lot of things. Wasn't wrong about him.
Yeah, he kicked me out, so what? He found me in bed with his daughter.
His adult daughter. She's not exactly a vulnerable teenager, is she?
Yeah, it didn't make any difference to Norm.
Did you resent that?
Not really. Wasn't like it was a great job or anything.
How serious was it?
Oh, you know how it is with women. They read into things too much.
Did you continue to see each other after you left the farm?
Yeah, of course. Not that we told her old man. We didn't want to upset him. He was already depressed.
We?
Well, okay, it was Mel's idea, but I didn't hate the guy.
Mr. Tsoulis, what can you tell us about the weapon that killed Mr. Howe?
Why are you asking me this?
We're just covering all aspects of the death.
Why? The man committed suicide.
It appears to be the case, but we're not so sure.
Why don't you hassle Trevor? If anyone wanted Norm out of the way, he did.
You're not telling us this because you got the flick?
No, look, it was an old 22 that Norm used, wasn't it? Why don't you ask Trevor where his is?
It's an old 22. I found it at the storeroom when I took over the business.
Yeah? Why didn't you hand it in?
Well, I meant to. I never got round to it.
Has it got any ammunition with it?
No.
Is it registered?
No, why would it be? I've never used it.
All right, so where is it now?
Still in the storeroom. Okay. All right, come on, I'll show you. It's got to be here somewhere. Somewhere.
Is this it?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Why did you say you didn't own a gun?
I don't own a gun. It was just there. Never occurred to me it'd be the same one. I mean, how did Dad get hold of it? He didn't even know I had it.
Has he ever been here?
No, he wouldn't come near the place. Hey, now, wait a minute. If you guys are thinking I gave it to him...
Well, I'm thinking worse than that.
Are you saying I pulled the trigger?
You admitted you had a blue with him. Now, maybe it was more than a bump on the head.
Oh, crap!
Trevor, this is the weapon that killed your father. It's your weapon.
There's only one person who'd do something like you suggest, and that's Nick.
They're both just trying to shift the blame.
Well, Tsoulis worked at the place. He could have taken the rifle.
So we really are suggesting it was murder?
I don't know. We should probably wait for the prelim autopsy report.
New rosters, everyone? Oh.
You're not taking any time off, Sarge.
Why would I?
No reason.
Evan?
Yeah.
Patrol.
I wanted to talk to you about your situation.
It's really none of your business. Hey, what are you doing? Why have we stopped?
Just hear me out, would you? Can you... No, it's just putting me off.
Is that better?
Don't.
No, seriously, I'm listening.
I'm trying to imagine what it'd be like to be in your position. If it's a matter of getting the right support, I'd really
I'm
like
perfectly
to...
capable of supporting myself.
Well, I know you are. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. That's not what I'm trying to say.
What are you trying to say, Evan?
Isn't it obvious?
No.
We should get married.
I'm already married. I can't just click my heels and say I divorced thee and it's all over.
Oh, wait.
Why are you doing this?
What do you think?
I haven't even decided what I'm going to do about the baby yet, let alone marriage.
Okay, well, whatever you want to do, the offer's there.
Thomas 258.
And you don't have to tell me now, just think about it. At 258 receiving, go ahead, VKC.
Yours is a code 12 at RMB 23 Old Ridge Road.
Yeah, copy that, VKC. Isn't that the Howe farm?
What? What's going on?
She came hurtling out the drive without looking.
Yeah, okay, just chill out. I said I'd see you right for the damages, didn't I?
That stuff that he was saying, I wouldn't do anything like that.
You all right? Melanie, you hurt?
Get me an ambulance.
Okay, don't panic. It just looks like a little cut.
No,
it doesn't look too
you
bad.
don't understand. I think I'm having a miscarriage.
This is all my fault. I should have known I'd only upset her.
There you go.
Upset who? Your sister?
I should never have gone out to the farm.
Why did you go?
Well, I started chewing on what your detective had told me. You know, about how maybe Dad's death wasn't a suicide. The more I thought about it, the more I thought it had to be bloody Nick.
So you confronted him?
Yeah, well, that's the polite way of putting it. Anyway, Melanie ends up in tears and goes herring off in her car. And we're still trying to bash each other's heads in when we heard the crash. Doctor, how is she?
Melanie makes full recovery.
And the baby?
Is 16 weeks. I'm hoping we can save, but no, I'm sorry.
Oh, why couldn't I just stay away from the place? Well, can I see her?
With husband now.
No, wait, that bastard is not her husband.
It might be better if you wait for a while. Do you mind if I have a quick word with her?
If quick, okay.
How are you feeling?
How would you be feeling?
So what happened this afternoon?
I came out of the gate without looking. You going to give me a ticket?
No. But we do need to know why he tried to run away.
It was Nick. What Trevor said about him, I thought for a minute that... It doesn't matter. Not now.
It does matter. If it has some bearing on your father's death. Melanie, we understand that your brother has made certain allegations. He's accused Nick of taking his gun and using it on your father. Is that right? And you believed him?
No.
Melanie, something made you get in your car and go racing out the gate.
Look, it's not Nick's fault, all right? It's mine.
Melanie.
It's all my fault. I killed my baby.
Well, I'm guessing that Norm didn't know he was going to be a grandfather.
No one knew, except for Melanie and Nick.
16 weeks. They weren't going to be able to keep it a secret for very much longer.
They might have both been out in their ear.
Unless they got in first.
Or Norm might have taken Trevor's gun and shot himself.
Trevor says not.
Trevor has lied to us before.
What, so Norm shot himself because of these so-called symptoms?
All right, the medical evidence doesn't exactly
Look, you've only
support
got Melanie's say-so that he was having symptoms at all.
All right, you were with me at the hospital, Evan. Do you believe Melanie capable of something like this?
It's hard to say.
PJ, if you had seen her in the hospital crying for the child that she has just lost...
Exactly. Mother love. It's a very powerful motive, Des.
Perhaps it's time we turned this case over to homicide.
Oh, no, boss, please, not yet. The last thing she needs is homicide all over this.
Your call, PJ.
We can wait till the autopsy results come through.
What's it about what happened?
Ah, forget it.
No, it's not that I don't want to support you, I do.
It's just that you don't think I can be objective.
No. But if there's even the slightest chance that someone other than Norm pulled
We
the
have
trigger...
to investigate it. You think I don't know that?
Sarge, autopsy report.
Thanks. Well, it looks like your slight chance just came down to nil. I just got some news for you. We got the autopsy results back on your dad this afternoon. They found evidence of gunshot residue on his hands, which means he shot himself. So Nick and your brother are pretty much in the clear. Just thought you'd like to know.
It was a boy, Tess. A baby. Dad would have been tickled. He always wanted a grandson. I thought I'd left it too late, you know, with staying on the farm, looking after Mum, then Dad. And just when I'd about given up hope...
Along comes Nick.
It wasn't just a fling. We were going to be married.
Were?
Everything's ruined now.
Melanie, it's been a really bad day. I wouldn't go making lifelong decisions now.
If you knew how much I wanted this baby.
You can try again. You never know.
I had my chance. It's not going to come round again.
G'day, Chris.
Cigar.
How are you? What little bottle of bet?
No, I just got you.
Orange juice.
Yeah. Well, I thought, you probably wouldn't be drinking.
It's very presumptuous of you.
What, do you want me to get you a flaming Lamborghini?
No, OJ's fine.
Come in to the drinking room. Come on, smash out. Smash out, all right? It's not every day that you become a man of property.
I think you've had quite enough, Nick.
No, come on. Go on, just a couple more pots, Chrissy. Just two more.
I think you better go before I have to throw you out.
Oh, go, all right. Jeez, no need to get all snippy. Let's go, let's celebrate in another pub. Let's go. Hello.
Good to know he's not too, thanks, choked up with grief.
People react in different ways.
Oh, come on. What was that crack about becoming a man of property?
To state the bleedingly obvious, if Trevor and Melanie inherit the farm and...
What, Melanie and Nick get married?
Pretty good motive to bump him off.
Except Norm killed himself.
We need to find out who was in his will.
Oh, he must have a solicitor.
Trevor.
Yeah, Detective Hasham asked me to drop in.
Thanks for coming in.
So that's all you wanted to know?
Yep, that's it. Thanks very much. Oh, one other thing. Did your father have a solicitor?
Oh, yeah, Bill Langley. He's been away for a while. We haven't been able to reach him, though.
Right. Great, thanks.
Okay. What are you up to now?
Trevor just told me there was no ammunition with that gun.
Well, Norm had to get it from somewhere.
Except you need a shooter's license to buy ammo, and he doesn't have one.
So someone bought it for him.
Do a ring around the gun shops, please, Jonesy.
Yeah.
Wait, do you want me to follow up with his solicitor?
Yes, please.
Where are you going?
Arsenic.
You rang, I look up book. Mr. Howe's symptoms, headaches, dizziness, nausea, all can be arsenic poisoning.
So if somebody wanted to fool him into thinking he had a second tumour.
They put arsenic in foods, little bit, he gets gradually sicker.
Excuse me, but why would he not have been able to detect this while he was eating?
Because olfactory nerve is severed in operation to remove tumor.
Which means...
No taste or smell. Yeah.
What, so they laced Norm's porridge with arsenic, hoping that he would develop the symptoms and then kill himself?
Maybe.
It sounds a bit far-fetched to me.
You reckon? Mm-hmm. Look, Norm told them what he was going to do if he got another tumour.
PJ, you still have to link the poison to Melanie and Nick.
And even if you do, what have you got? Aiding and abetting the commission of a suicide. What's that worth?
5 years, max.
Out in 2, with good behaviour.
What are you saying? What, we should just forget about it?
No, of course not. But you're going to be very hard-pressed without admissions.
Got a link to the gun. Gun shop owner in St David's sold Nick Zoulis a packet of 22 ammo 2 days ago.
Well, why would you buy bullets if you don't own a gun?
I used to own one.
You bought the bullets 2 days ago.
Okay. I got him for Norm.
What? Why didn't you tell me?
Oh, look, I didn't know what he was going to do.
You knew how upset he was. You must have known.
No, Mel, honest, I didn't.
Did you give Mr. Howe the gun too?
No way.
Hey, you worked for Trevor.
Everything
you knew
Trevor
where it
said, it was true, wasn't it?
He was suffering, Mel. I did him a favour.
You stuck the gun in his hand. You may as well pull the trigger for him as well.
Yeah, Rob, why are you so concerned?
Because I loved him.
Yeah, you hated the bastard more than I did.
That's not true.
You figured it was a good way of getting your hands on the property. Over there, Goose.
Trevor's pretty much out of the picture. Melanie seems pretty keen on you, so it might be worth marrying her to become a man of property.
Well, she's the one who's going to profit from this, not me. Why aren't you accusing her?
He's saying that Melanie had something to do with her father's death.
Look, all I know is that after he chucked me off the farm, I was planning to head up north. And she came and begged me not to go. Said that she wanted me back on the farm. That she'd fix her dad.
Fix her dad could mean anything.
Including bumping him off.
By poisoning him? I doubt it.
Look, we still have to talk to her, though.
PJ, she's just lost her baby.
I know, Tess. But what if she's guilty?
I know, but...
Sergeant, we can't let the trail go cold.
That was Tatiana.
Tatiana now, is it?
She checked Norm's body for arsenic residue.
And?
It's been quite a build-up over the last couple of months.
Oh, you might like this.
Thank you.
A search warrant? What for?
For something that might be connected to your father's death.
How can you do this? You know what my dad meant to me.
Well, we know what you said he meant to you.
Pete.
This might be what we're looking for.
Looks like an antique.
Practically empty.
It's been there for years.
You haven't been spraying it on your father's food recently?
What's all this about?
It contains arsenic, which is what caused some of your father's symptoms.
You thought he had a tumour.
And you think I did it? How am I supposed to know all this?
Well, you could learn how to build a bomb off the internet.
Look, Dad wasn't an easy man to get on with, but I'd never do anything to hurt him, not after nursing him back to health for so long.
What about your boyfriend?
I'll leave Nick out of it.
Melanie, he is not worth defending. He's just pointed the finger at you.
That's not true.
You handed your father the gun, you handed him the bullets. Maybe the two of you were conspiring.
No, why would I?
Your dad didn't approve of the marriage plans.
Well, he would have eventually.
You were pregnant.
So what are you implying? That I killed him rather than tell him I was pregnant?
Did you?
No.
That was cruel.
Just doing my job.
No, I'm not doing mine, that's what you're saying, isn't it?
No.
Oh, be honest with me, PJ.
Look, I feel sorry for Melanie Howe too.
Oh, Spam.
But you're too close. Her boyfriend gave Norm the gun and the bullets. She kept arsenic in the kitchen,
No, she kept fly spray in the kitchen.
which was full of arsenic. Now, he had to be getting the poison from somewhere, and she's the only one who consistently had the opportunity to lace the food.
There are alternatives.
Like?
Well, arsenic can leach through the ground. It could have got in the bore water.
Well, then why isn't Melanie sick? Sorry, but why isn't she?
Because she and Soulos entered a conspiracy to convince the old man he was having symptoms again. Talked him into topping himself.
Funny sort of conspiracy when they're blaming each other.
It's not unusual, is it?
You couldn't answer for everything.
You're too close.
And you're not close enough. Ah, thanks a lot. You're a great help in there.
You wouldn't let any of us get away with a flawed argument, so why should we let you?
Melanie didn't poison her father.
I don't think she did either.
Don't listen to me. I feel like I'm going mad.
You're not going mad. You're probably just hormonal, so if anyone can understand how that woman would think, it'd be you. Tess, there's got to be another answer, so let's just find it.
If Norm picked up the arsenic poisoning from the fly spray, PJ'd be right. It'd be Melanie.
Right. So there's got to be another source somewhere.
Only explanation.
Not the bore water?
No, it has to be something that Norm and only Norm ingested.
Well, he ran a farm. I mean, who knows what was on that property?
We've already searched.
Only the house.
Do you know what we're looking for exactly?
Not exactly. But this might be close enough. Sodium arsenate.
Yeah, it's the stuff Dad had stored at the back of the shed. He's had it for years. I've been on at him to get rid of it.
It's banned because it contains arsenic.
Your father, he wasn't still using it, was he?
He had stacks of it. He's been using it for years. He reckons it's the only stuff that works, that it only got banned because of the greenies. Look, Dad just was set in his ways. If it was good enough for his parents, it was good enough for him. What's all this about?
It's what caused the headaches and the nausea.
He did this to himself? The symptoms? The tumour? He did it to himself.
How'd you go with Norm's solicitor?
Well, interesting. Apparently, the day after Norm and Trevor had their big blow-up, Norm went to see him about changing his will.
No, what, to cut Trevor out?
Yeah. Anyway, Mr. Langley went to all the trouble of drawing up a new will, and then a week later, Norm wouldn't sign it, wanted to go with the old one.
What, so they're both inheriting the farm?
Yep, straight down the middle. And there's this, hand-delivered the day before Norm shot himself.
She may appreciate it more coming from you.
You okay?
Yeah. Nick's gone.
Gone?
I wasn't going to marry him. No need for him to stick around anymore.
There's a letter for you. Your dad left it with his solicitor.
Bit late for that.
If it's at all relevant to his death, we'd appreciate a copy of it.
Take it.
But you've got to read it.
Why?
Do you want me to read it for you?
If you want.
Dear Mel, By the time you read this, you'll know I couldn't take it anymore. It was hard enough going through it all the first time. What's the point in prolonging it?
You could have stayed with me longer, that was the point. You could have seen your grandson.
I know I've been cranky over the last few weeks. It was Nick. I'm sorry. I still think he's a bludger and a parasite, but it's up to you. If he's the bloke you want, then I shouldn't interfere. Love, Dad.
Now you say it. Now when it's too late. Oh, it's too late, Dad.
PJ, have you got that Norm Howe file?
Yeah.
Oh. Copy of the suicide note.
Ta. She's better off without it, you know.
Who?
Nick Soulos is a waste of space.
Yeah, I know. Norm shouldn't have interfered, though. It's her decision.
It's hard not to interfere when you care about someone.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Still, Melanie had to make up her own mind.
She's a grown woman.
Exactly. She should be allowed to make her own decision. Regardless of other people's opinions.
Your instincts were right.
Yeah. Blame it on raging hormones.
Tess, I know I said I didn't want to
I've
rush.
decided to keep the baby.
It's great.
But as for you and me, this is something I've got to do on my own, without any help from you or anyone else. I've just come out of one impulsive marriage, and I think it'd be a big mistake to go into another one. But thank you.
Right time. She went to the hospital for a pregnancy test and one of the nurses couldn't keep her mouth shut.
We contacted Josh.
He's obviously still got a few mates at Mount Thomas General.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Tess, what a bloody mess, eh?
You can say that again.
Morning, Tess.
No prizes for guessing who's the subject of today's gossip.
Hey, if there's anything we can do.
Thank you. But there's no reason why this should change how things operate around here. Evan, on patrol. What are you looking at me for?
I said she looked good, that's all.
It's not a sickness, you know.
I tried telling that to my Aunt Fiona. And she had morning sickness so bad she wound up in hospital on a drip. Sorry, wrong thing to say. I just don't know what the right thing is.
How about we just try not talking about it at all?
Yeah, fair enough. So have you made a decision?
Not talking, remember?
It's just bringing up a kid on your own. I mean, that's a big call. And you'd make a great mum. I'm going to shut up.
No. Thank you. What's going on here?
Please come quick, you gotta help me. Hurry, he's down here. It's his favourite spot. I just thought he was resting a bit.
My government undertaker's on the way.
Right. Strange.
What?
Bruise on his jaw.
That's from a gunshot, yeah?
Well, you often see black eyes, but not bruising that low.
Well, he certainly chose a beautiful spot to do it.
Except every time his daughter comes down here, she'll remember him like this.
He was complaining about being out of muesli. Dad, this morning. Why would he worry about muesli if he was planning to do this?
Miss Howe, I'd just like to ask you some questions if you're up to it.
Come on, I think you might be in a bit of shock. Do you want to go and get a cup of tea or something?
Did you get anything?
No, I didn't hear the gunshot. She was working on the other side of the farm.
What's going on?
Who are you?
Nick Zoulis. I work here. I used to work here. I was driving past, I saw the cop cars. What's happened? Is Mel all right?
Well, she is. It's her father.
Norm? What happened?
Well, I'm afraid he's dead.
Suspected suicide.
Don't seem particularly surprised, Mr. Zoulis.
I guess he just couldn't face it again.
Face what?
He'd been treated for a brain tumour. They told him he was clear, but over the last few weeks he'd had more symptoms.
Who is he seeing?
Dr. Joshua Carmichael at the hospital, but he's gone now.
We'll check with the hospital records. The rifle that your father used, was it his?
I've never seen